All right, sports fans, how's everybody out there doing? William Martin coming at you one more time here on YouTube with another edition of the 300 Pounds of Sports Knowledge Podcast. It is that time of the week, folks, my weekly picks in the world of the National Football League. And I haven't gotten off to the best of starts for this weekend. I went 1-2 yesterday on Turkey Day. Credit to the Green Bay Packers for finding a way to go on the road and get a division win against the Lions. I did pick the Cowboys over the Chiefs by 3. I expected Baltimore to take care of their business last night against the Cincinnati Bengals, but of course, the Bengals played like the team that had something to play for, as opposed to the Ravens. And then, of course, what can you say about today? As the Bears went on the road and got that win over the Philadelphia Eagles, and I have a lot to say about the Philadelphia Eagles and what's going on there with the defending champs. But nonetheless, we've got some good games on tap for Sunday with some playoff implications, as well as the Monday night affair. And with that said, here are my picks for week 13 in this NFL season. So we've got the 8-4 San Francisco 49ers traveling to take on the 3-8 Cleveland Browns. And of course, San Fran comes into this game favored by 4.5. And it wasn't that long ago, a couple of years ago, matter of fact, that we saw San Francisco go into Cleveland heavily favored. And it was the Browns who sent them home on the wrong side of the score. So we know about the Niners being banged up, but the bottom line is they continuously go out there and take care of their business. Why? Because they play solid D and they run the football. And when you have those two traits on your team, they always travel well. Now, if you're the Browns, you have a little bit of a buzz due to the fact that you have Shador Sanders in at quarterback. It's galvanized the fan base, and it's also galvanized his team, because when we saw Sanders have his first start last Sunday against the Raiders, there was a little bit more electricity from the Browns in each phase of the game. However, I'm not ready to jump the gun just due to the fact that Sanders looked solid in his first start. And I'm not disrespecting him, anything like that, but it was against the Raiders. We saw him come off the bench the week before against the Baltimore Ravens. It didn't look as crisp. I want to see what he does against the Niners. It's due to the fact that a veteran defensive coordinator like a Robert Saleh is going to try to heat him up, kind of like what we saw against the Baltimore Ravens a couple of Sundays ago. So I want to see how that works out. But I do expect the Browns to really focus on trying to run the football against this Niners defense. You look at it, game time temperatures, 38 degrees in Cleveland on Sunday. I think this is going to be an old school physical type affair between both of these clubs. Two of the better defenses in the NFL. They're going to focus on the ground games. But when it's all said and done, I like San Francisco on the road 23-16. Now, in the AFC South, all four teams in the AFC South are playing each other this Sunday. I want to start with the 7-4 Jacksonville Jaguars traveling to Nashville to take on the 1-10 Titans. Jacksonville comes into this contest favored by 6 points over Tennessee, and they don't want to look past the Titans. Why? Because they're trying to keep pace with the Indianapolis Colts in this division. You look at Jacksonville, and of course, we saw them, come back and get that win, a back and forth affair against the Arizona Cardinals. And it's like, you look at Jacksonville, and you kind of get the feeling like, you don't know what team you're going to get from a Sunday to Sunday basis. And I really think it starts with quarterback Trevor Lawrence. He's got to take care of the football. And I think what Jacksonville needs to have in this game, they need to have an attitude to say, hey, we got to go out there and put this team, meaning the Titans, out of their misery early and not give them hope. That's what the Jags need to do if they're going to take that next step and be a playoff team this year. Tennessee's going to keep it close early, but Jacksonville pulls away late. And I like the Jaguars by 10, 27-17. Now, the other two teams in the AFC South are facing off in Indy, as we've got the 8-3 Colts hosting the 6-5 Houston Texans. And of course, with the loss last Sunday by the Colts in Kansas City, things have gotten very tight very quickly in the AFC South. We know that Indy is dealing with injuries right now, most notably a banged up Daniel Jones at quarterback. He suffered a fractured fibula. Clearly, it's not a real bad fracture if he's going out there and trying to gut it out and he's going out there and trying to play, okay? But nonetheless, I think the Colts have to get back to what they do best, and that's running the football and playing solid D. Two things that they did not do in their loss to Kansas City. Indy's going to try to run the football. Easier said than done against this Houston Texans front. I think the Texans are definitely going to try to win first and second down defensively to try to put this Colts offense in third and long situations and try to make Daniel Jones beat them with his arm. On the flip side for this Colts defense, can they stop this Houston run game and make C.J. Stroud, who's returning from injury, beat them with his arm? I'll tell you like this. Field position, turnovers are going to be key in this game. A lot is on the line between these two division rivals. The Colts are trying to put some distance between themselves and everybody else in this division, while a win here by Houston would make it extremely interesting coming down the stretch. But nonetheless, I like the Colts at home 24-17. So we've got the 2-9 New Orleans Saints traveling to take on the 4-7 Miami Dolphins. And it hasn't been pretty, but the Dolphins keep finding a way to win as they're looking to somewhat keep their slim playoff hopes alive. The Saints defense, you know that they're going to come to play, but the bottom line is, can New Orleans get anything out of their offense? That is the million-dollar question. Miami's favored by 5.5 points. I like the Dolphins by 11, 24-13. Now at MetLife Stadium, we've got the 4-7 Atlanta Falcons taking on the 2-9 New York Jets. And for both of these teams, the season cannot end quick enough. But I'll tell you like this: for Raheem Morris with Atlanta and Aaron Glenn with the Jets, one thing is certain: both of these teams are going to play very hard for their head coaches, which means we're going to have ourselves a very competitive game. But nonetheless, I like Atlanta in this one, 20-18. So we've got the 3-8 Arizona Cardinals traveling to take on the 6-5 Tampa Bay Buccaneers. And for Tampa, it's the same old song. They're an up and down team. They got embarrassed, however, last week on the road against the Rams. They want to try to come back and put that behind them. Of course, we saw their starting quarterback, Baker Mayfield, get injured in that game. And to his credit, Baker is going to try to tough it out and give it a go in this contest. What is this Tampa 2 going to do against Cardinals quarterback Jacoby Brissett? That's a million-dollar question for this one. The Bucks come into this game favored by 3.5 points. It won't be pretty. It's going to be a back-and-forth affair, but you have to expect that when you watch the Bucks this year. I like Tampa Bay in a tight one, 24-23. Now in Charlotte, we've got the 9-2 Los Angeles Rams traveling to take on the 6-6 Carolina Panthers. And some feel that the Rams could possibly be the best team in football. This Carolina team, they're young and they're coming. And I'll tell you like this: they had a tough setback on Monday night at the hands of the 49ers. And for them to go out there and pull off the upset because they're 10-point dogs at home, not only does Bryce Young have to play a solid game, I think Carolina's got to take care of their business in all phases of the game. They got to try to run the football with Rico Dowdell, which will take some pressure off of Bryce Young. They have to play sound defense against Rams quarterback Matt Stafford, but it's easier said than done because, of course, Los Angeles has those dangerous receivers on the outside. I'm talking about Devontae Adams and one Puka Nacua. I like the Rams defense in this contest going up against this Panthers offense. I think that's a difference. I'm going to take Los Angeles on the road 30-20. Now, one of those teams that is looking up at the Rams in the NFC West, you've got the 8-3 Seattle Seahawks set to host the Minnesota Vikings. And of course, for the Vikings, no J.J. McCarthy at quarterback for this one. It's going to be the veteran Carson Wentz. But I'll tell you like this with the Seattle team: they're another one of those squads. They run the football and they play D. And when they're able to do those things, it takes so much pressure off of their quarterback, Sam Darnold. The Seahawks are favored by 11.5 in this one. I think they take care of their business early and put the Vikings in chase mode. I like Seattle 29-17. Now, a big one in the AFC is we've got the 7-4 Buffalo Bills traveling to take on the 6-5 Pittsburgh Steelers. And for Pittsburgh, they just got a reprieve because a lot of people expected Baltimore to win that game last night against Cincinnati, and people were saying, well, you know what? Pittsburgh's going to be looking up at Baltimore in the standings. The Ravens lost. Now, if you are Pittsburgh, you have an opportunity to jump back ahead of the Ravens, which is going to be easier said than done against this Buffalo team. We know how the Steelers can play defense when they come ready to play, especially up front. And I want to see if this Bills offensive line can find a way to slow down TJ Watt, because TJ Watt is one of those special pass rushers. When he gets into a rhythm, just look out. There's really not a lot that you can do. The Steelers are hopeful that veteran quarterback Aaron Rodgers comes back. Remember, he missed last Sunday's game against the Bears with that arm injury. And of course, if number 8 is back, things are very different for this Pittsburgh offense. But you still got Josh Allen on the other side at quarterback for Buffalo. And the bottom line is Josh Allen simply knows how to go out there and make things happen. Buffalo is favored by 3 points on the road in this one, but I like Pittsburgh at home by 3, 23-20. Now in the AFC West, we've got the 2-9 Vegas Raiders traveling to take on the 7-4 Los Angeles Chargers. And of course, the Lightning Bolts come into this game favored by 8.5 points. They're fresh off of their bye, and of course, they want to try to keep up with the Broncos in the AFC West. What can you say about the Raiders? What can go wrong has gone wrong for this team this season, and the finish line, meaning week 18, cannot get here quick enough. And for the Chargers, they're thinking about the postseason. I think Jim Harbaugh and company go into this game looking to take care of their business. I like the Chargers by 2 touchdowns, 34-20. And then on Sunday night, we've got the Denver Broncos with a record of 9-2 and leading the AFC West, traveling to take on the Washington Commanders. And of course, still no Jaden Daniels at quarterback for the Commanders. And honestly, at this point of the game, I would really be surprised if number 5 takes the field again this season for the Commanders, because their season is all but over. This Denver team is starting to click. We know what they can do defensively. And if Bo Nix and company can be consistent on offense, the Broncos are going to be a problem in the playoffs. I think Denver goes on the road with an attitude to take care of their business. I like the Broncos in this one, 30-16. And finally, on Monday night, we have the 2-10 New York Giants traveling to take on the 10-2 New England Patriots. And oh, what a difference that a couple of years makes for both of these organizations. Both of these teams were in the top 5, or pardon me, top 10. A couple of years ago in the draft. We know that the Giants tried to move up to get quarterback Drake May. New England said not so fast. They've got themselves a new head coach in Mike Vrabel this year, and now New England is definitely has the look of being a playoff team. For the Giants, they're in that boat where, you know what, the season can't end quick enough. They just consistently find ways to lose games. First, it was Brian Daboll who got let go as the head coach, and now it was Shane Bowen who got let go as the team's defensive coordinator. For the Giants, they expect Jackson Dart to come back. I think he will show some signs of why he is the future at quarterback for New York. But the bottom line is this comes down to who is a better team. And right now, that is the New England Patriots. They're favored by a touchdown at home on Monday night. I like the Patriots by 13 in this one, 30-17. So, folks, those are my picks for week number 13 in this NFL season. And as always, I want to take this time out to thank each and every one of you for checking out the 300 Pounds of Sports Knowledge podcast here on YouTube. And as always, if you like what you heard and saw in this podcast, you know what to do. Just hit that like button, as well as subscribing to this channel. And like I always say, it is greatly appreciated. Also, if you are on the X, formerly known as Twitter, you can check me out anytime at 300 Pounds of Sports. And like I always say, if you give me that follow, it will be my pleasure to follow you right back. And that also goes for Instagram, where you can check me out at 300 Pounds of Sports Knowledge. Also, if you are on Facebook, definitely check out the Sports Depot 365. And as far as I'm concerned, one of the better sports groups going on social media. But until next time, fine folks, my name is William Martin. I'm signing off, and I'm saying thanks once again for checking out the 300 Pounds of Sports Knowledge podcast here on YouTube. Be well, everybody.